My name is Clareanne Ysmael. I am an animation major in JPCatholic. How I got involved in No Reception, I first made storyboards in the pre-production of it, and then later on, during the production of the film, I was asked to make the storybook prop for it, so I made all the illustrations for the ending of the film, where there is storybook illustrations. So later on, they reached out to me when they were making edits to the film, and were just saying, "We really like your stuff. Could you make these opening illustrations for our main character?"
I was aware of No Reception when I was studying at JPCatholic. That's kind of when the project got started, and then I graduated from JPCatholic in August of 2023, and then shortly after started working for Akimbo Studio. The school hired on Akimbo Studio to work with some of the artists that had created designs for the film to create the opening sequence. And so I got the chance to work on the film again, no longer as a student, but through Akimbo. And so that was really cool to be able to work with some of my old peers and friends.
It was pretty interesting because actually Josh Martin, a JPCatholic alumni, was involved in it. So we were kind of sending pictures of what we were working on together.
Clareanne is an amazing artist, very talented, and so it was not hard to kind of go from there. But basically I took those illustrations that she had done of the different characters and created backgrounds for them, created scenery and different things, and we used that and then gave that to the animators, which they brought to life, and that's what we did to create the opening sequence.
The process is you start off with thumbnail sketches and trying to experiment with how his personality would translate into his physical appearance. You stay in the sketch line art phase for a while, and then once everything's confirmed, they ask you for colors, and then you go into the coloring part. And then once just the illustration assets are finished, my part of the job is done, so then it's given to Akimbo Studios to animate. It's just really funny because I've never seen Professor Riley so excited about something so much. They gave a pretty clear idea of what they wanted. Whenever I had questions, they answered them pretty well, and they gave me a really good reference and guidelines to work with. Their energy was fun to work with.
I wanted to reach out to Clareanne and kind of get an understanding of what she was intending with these designs and kind of her thought process behind some of them and the style and that she went with, and so that I could kind of match that and make sure that it blended together very nicely and didn't look like it was done by necessarily two different artists, but made sure that it looked like one cohesive design.
Seeing my art on the big screen, I was like, I made that. That was cool.
I am Christopher Riley, and I co-wrote and I directed No Reception. No Reception is the story of a young man named Cody who really had a rough childhood.